Hi guys, good evening. I am curious tonight to know how many people watched the behavior panel, and did it sway any of you to look at Don any differently than you had already? And if so, why? What was it that he could have possibly said that would have changed anyone's existing opinion of Donald Wells? If it did, please elaborate in the comments below. I'm curious about that, but I'll be honest, I didn't watch it. I'm not going to watch it because I can't stomach any more of Don Wells. And the thing is I don't even think that Don or Candus know where Summer is. I really don't. I think they're clueless. I think they're totally clueless. And I think it happened basically the way Candus said. You know, there have been what seems to be contradictions, but I've found that most of the contradictions come from Don. They're not really from Candus that much. So it's usually him trying to, spin doctor it. Because he thinks that public opinion matters so much. He doesn't realize it's only facts that matter when it comes to finding Summer. So he's got to spin it. He spins everything. When they shaved her head, Candus said one thing and he immediately corrected her. Well, that was weird. That was weird. And then he goes and says, well, Summer was fine with it by now. What do you mean by now? Obviously, she wasn't fine with it to start with. So my point is I don't think the Wells know where Summer is, which for me leaves two options, which is abduction or she's lost. There's plenty of opportunity for abduction. There was a whole crew down there cutting trees for over a week that were in and out. There were people in and out looking at the property that Jackie Dobbs bought. Jackie Dobbs was down there. There was a lot of iffy people. And Jody Sue has got some really good testimony about what she and her children heard. And if the sheriff don't want to take her testimony and wants to call it unfounded because she happens to be a neighbor and he doesn't like her past, then he's an idiot. Sorry. I don't know. Sometimes law enforcement just confounds me when they dismiss the obvious and then try to pry open sealed nothings like rocks. They try to pry open rocks, right? Because I don't think they're going to find Summer around that house. I just don't feel like she's there. She could be. I could be totally wrong. But I think she was either lost or abducted. And they found that little 3-year-old baby today. 3 years old, lost in the woods in Texas. 3.5 days. And he's okay. He's going to be okay. He literally wandered off after a puppy while Mom and Grandma were unloading groceries from the car. Sound familiar? So could Summer have wandered off? Yeah. Yes, she could have. And there are places in the mountains that have caverns. And sometimes these caverns aren't even discovered yet. Or sometimes they're marked, but nobody can get to them. They're sealed off. And what happens is at the top of them, a little hole will open up. A little bit of erosion happens. Somebody steps on it and they fall through. They call that a skylight. Because the only light in there is from that little hole. Like a little skylight up in the ceiling. Nobody can hear you scream if you survive the fall. They're right there in the mountainous hills. They're not just I'm in the foothills. I'm in Appalachia. I'm definitely an Appalachian baby. So, and at least 3 of the Wells kids are. So I can relate. And I know that kind of terrain. I believe it's possible that she met with an accident. But I don't think Don and Candus know where that child is at. I know a lot of you will disagree, and you're welcome to. I welcome comments, and I'm curious to see what Candus has to say on Dr. Phil. I really am. But I think she's going to stick to her story. I really do. So leave your thoughts and comments below, and I appreciate you listening to me.